My name is Aditola Odumaki. My student ID is 22081287. Our case study is growing gross domestic product in the poorer countries and regions around the world to alleviate poverty. In this project, we'll be talking about growing the gross domestic product in Nigeria through small and medium enterprise development, leveraging India's small and medium enterprise model. In this presentation, we will try to understand as how to Nigeria could improve its gross domestic products after analyzing successful models of SMEs in India. Despite the large population and sufficient resources, Nigeria's economics have quite few problems such as poor access to finance, insufficient and infrastructures, and poor education. Well, this research aims to find out some of the challenges facing SMEs in Nigeria and to provide solutions based on the best products in India. SMEs have important roles that include employment generation, innovation, and stimulating sustainable economic growth. The background on Nigeria. Nigeria is the largest African country, both in terms of population and size of its economy, with the GDP of about $510 billion from the World Bank in year 2023. It has some economic problems, for example, unemployment, poverty, interpersonal relations, and bad infrastructures. Have become key drivers in the economy of Nigeria and also noted to some potential contributing massively to the nation's economy. In compromise of almost all Nigerian businesses and accounts of 48% of country's GDP as well as supplying 84% of employment in the nation of the SMEDAN 2023. The current state of SMEs in Nigeria. SMEs are essential to the Nigerian economy as they account for 96% of the enterprise and play major roles in employment and contribution to the GDP. That's of the National Bureau of Statistics in 2023. They have established in different economics of the agro-allied, manufacturing, and services industries and play a pivotal role in the development of non-oil export-driven economy. However, Nigeria's SME encounter many threats that hinder their growth and sustainability. Among them is lack of finance of one major constraint. Most SMEs fail to access funds from financial institutions because of high interest charges and high risk collateral demands, because in banks in Nigeria, before you can be given a loan, you have to have a high collateral, and which of the World Bank of 2023, the interest rates increased. Moreover, some more essential operations supporting structures like electricity transport system are often inconsistent in, and this greatly has contributed to that affects businesses because most of our SMEs, the light affect them. The importance of SMEs in GDP growth. SMEs in Nigeria are essential, and as the economy, they contribute a large portion to the GDP stability of the economy. Like in Nigeria's SME, it contributes 48% to the national GDP. Thank you. I'll be calling on Punav to come for it.
Hi, my name is Pranav and my student ID is 22064358. Yeah, today I'm going to explain about the obstacles of GDP growth in Nigeria, various challenges hinders the growth of GDP of the economy and the extension of the development of Nigeria. Some of the learners of challenges related to education and cultural backgrounds. Only a limited percentage of citizens are able to go to school, less the receive of the quality education, rural, urban, different remains the concern. The most of the areas in cultural norms and expression of consideration the ability of pursue the education and grateful work, therefore the decreasing the ability of the workforce and slow down the expansion of sectors. Moreover, the problem of infrastructure is Nigeria, especially the erratic power of supply and the poor transportation system. Export pressures the established cost of structure and efficiency, where these are the infrastructure weakness, not only the work advice on the existing commerce until the leader of the foreign investors and the reason behind the restriction economy and the GDP enlargement. To overcome these challenges, there must be a policy invented to the capital development in the educational infrastructure facilities to support the sustainable development for SMEs. Well, we are looking to the India's SME model review. The SME sector can be said to be one of the key growth of drivers of Indian economy in the terms of contribution of GDP as well as the environment generation. The SME sector consists of more than 63 million frames and contributions. About 45% of country is manufacturing and 40% of exports. And one of the crisis success of the factor of SME project SME strategy is the framework that was put in the place according to the policy structure like Make in India, which focus on the local manufacturing, which is involved to the foreign investors. Well, if we check out the diagrams, we can understand that industrial output is 45% and export is 40%, while the industrial unit is 95%, and the employment is 45 million, four times higher than the large enterprise, and the products more than 18,000. Credit of the another factor were the government with help of the financial institute offer the various credit policies and sustainability of the growth of SMEs. The schemes such as the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojan focuses insurance, the microcredit and the business person, the conquer of the financial sectors. And however, the India is focusing on the technology and the skill development through the policies like Skill India, which is prepare the workplace of necessity of the skills. And we can looking go to the next slide. Well, in this slide, we are looking for the training and the development program in India. In general, the training and development models used in the India, especially for SEM, has proven to be a key factor in the growth of the national economy as well as the empowering employees. In the interest, the digital literacy within the training program ensures that the authorities remain dedicated to change in economic base of IT. Well, another noticeable comeback of the training approach is India is a community-based and training well, the programs has been implemented by the National Skill Development Corporation in the cooperation with various partners of industry such as manufacturing, service, and agriculture. Among these, description of described by the well, therefore, the India is supposedly contributing towards the development of the digital skills and conducting the community-based or training and the determinant of sustainable economic growth in the country, which could be an example of developing the nation. Well, if you're looking for this slide, we can know that this is a financial support of SMEs in India, promotion of the financial essence of the small and the medium scale enterprise in India as a national economic model, the vital to deliver the necessity of resource and the tools to the growth to visible, sustainable organization and development. Another crucial factor is that the government sponsored the policies of the helping SMEs a lot, but in funding programs like the credit gratitude fund, trust and micro and the Small Enterprise Scheme, and the CGTMSC and the National Small Industry Corporate Institute and stimulate the leading as a business in the form of micro loans, where this involves the government programs of the training and the grant of the development despite the parties has helped to develop in India's SMEs market and facilitate the economic sustainable and the growth. And the minus slides will be told by my friend Fimi.
My name is Olufumilare Esther Adeyemo. My student ID is 22084240. I'll be talking about infrastructure support in India's SME model. This has been viewed as one of the vital components of Indian SME model that bore a major impact on the sector performance. The India government has several programs to encourage the development of SME clusters. Looking at the diagram, we can see the products of SME more than 6,000 products, talking about food product 22%, electrical and machinery parts 6%, going to basic metal industry 10%, and etc. The common facility center set up within the clusters have ensured that SME have access to high technology in terms of major things. These efforts have enhanced the SME sector in the global growth and development. In this slide, we are talking about adaptation strategy for Nigeria. Applying the successful SME model of India to Nigeria is a possible solution to increase economic activities and diversification in the zone. Out of Indian experience, the following can be of great benefit to Nigeria, particularly through the following components: SME clusters, financial support, SME skill development. SMEs can develop clusters in other parts of Nigeria where necessary for the purpose of enhancing synergy, innovation, and increased competitiveness as done in the Indian model. Another important factor is the provision of financial resources for the organization. To enhance SMEs' access to capital, Nigeria could take the Indian models of microfinance and government-supported credit products. For instance, the Mata Model Yojana in India, which offers microfinance loan to small business people, could be adapted to suit Nigeria's fiscal environment and empower growth and innovation. Furthermore, attention should be paid to the development of skills and training as an essential tool for improving the capabilities of the workforce. On this slide, we are talking about the proposed training programs for Nigeria. Some of the measures that can help to improve the performance of SMEs in Nigeria are the provision of digital and community training programs. For example, instruction of inclusive technology such as online learning platforms can offer portable and convenient instruction methods that enhance learners the coverage across various geographical areas. Another of the aims to promote the SMEs empowerment involves increasing financial literacy. There is no harm in educating owners on financial management, budgeting, and then investing to assist them in making sound decisions. In this slide, we are looking at financial support mechanisms for Nigeria. The microfinance model, which have worked well in other developing countries, can be used in Nigeria. And MFIs can provide small non-secured credits to business owners. Another area for enhancing financial support for SMEs can be pursued through public-private partnership so that the government can share in the risk. Looking at the diagram, we can talk about the indirect support policies, which focuses on financial and non-financial aspects, and then looking at direct support policies that focuses on financial and non-financial aspects. Looking at this slide, it talks about infrastructure development plans. SME clusters in countries such as India have clearly illustrated how productivity and competitiveness of SMEs can greatly contribute to the development of local economy. Looking at the diagram, we can see the infrastructure development models in Nigeria surrounded with the concessions, outright sales to the private sector participation, public-private partnership. This infrastructure development plans to include that the Nigeria helps to foster SME environment shall help to support sustainable economic growth together with employment in each part of the economy.
Myself, Akshay Babu Anil Kumar, and my student ID is 22074716. And I'm going to explain the slide pilot program implementation. There is a need of carefully choose the regions in Nigeria that will test the pilot program for SME clusters and engage in stakeholders who are willing to embrace the change. Regions selected for initial implementation should contain initial economical activities with possibilities of expansion. Locations like Lagos, Kano, and Port Harcourt are preferred because they already have developed industry and required infrastructure. Stakeholders engage is usually important when it comes to pilot program. Much more especially in account-based pilot program, engaging in LGAs, PPPs, and stakeholders maintain program relevance since an integrated goal of development into existing regions need to be implementation will have support from various parties. Another crucial consideration is participation of the members in community so that they feel that it is their project and impact are shared. The second slide, we are going to explain the monitoring and evaluation framework. To ensure that SME cluster pilot program in Nigeria are successful, a viable M&E framework has to be put in place. Also, the data like the number of new business enterprise created, the level of expos, and optimal use of infrastructure, they may depict the level of development, may determine the effect of the program on economic development. Sustaining the feedback gear is quite important so that the pilot program can evolve the new gaps and opportunities. There is a need of incorporate an adoption process into M&E framework to allow the program to change depending on the feedback and situation on the ground. In this slide, I'm going to explain like the expectation, outcomes, and impact. The successful implementation of SME cluster in Nigeria is anticipated to generate considerable payoffs through the generation of employees' impact on GDP contribution and hence economic diversification. Investing in clusters at the right place like Lagos, Kano, Pad Hardcourt will spur industrialization, which will create employment and business activity which separate the growth of GDP. These clusters can also help access the bigger markets and international that can overall the enhance growth and development of the economy and its resilience. Over this, it also helps cultivate an entrepreneurial spirit throughout the nation that will aid in maintaining, perpetuating the Nigerian economy, advancement, and the living condition of its people. Now I conclude. Thank you.
My name is Razak Aziz. My student number is 22081137. My colleagues have talked about everything. I'll be just making conclusions. And it can be suggested that drastic changes are needed in the situation with SME clusters in Nigeria to make the SMEs a tool for the stimulation of Nigerian economy and its diversification. The transfer of best practices from other nations like India, coupled with the use of effective national policies and a plan that focuses on supporting SMEs through financial means and enhancing the skills of SMEs human resources. Other factors include building strong supportive structure, developing individual awareness and understanding the digital process, and managing the provision of capital through microfinance and public-private partnership. Generally, through the encouragement of SME clusters by changing the overall cultural perspective towards innovation and enterprise, the Nigerian economy can be transformed in several ways. Nigeria's over-reliance on oil revenue and the country economy diversified, and there will be improvement of the structure of Nigeria's economy by ensuring the successful implementation and growth of SMEs clusters all over the country. This study will help to enhance the standard of living and establish a healthy business environment for economic development of the country, thus place Nigeria among the competitors economy in the world. So this slide is going to talk about the recommendations. Based on the findings, it is possible to recommend the following action plans for implementing SME clusters in Nigeria. Firstly, the government should invest in infrastructure, particularly in energy, road, and telecommunication that are expected to grow fast in the targeted states such as Lagos, Kano, and Port Harcourt. This support will enhance the stability and smooth functioning of SMEs, thus encouraging investments. Also, measures should be taken to improve financial availabilities of SMEs with the help of microfinance initiatives and public-private partnerships in coordination with financial institutions and private sector companions. The government will set up credit guarantee schemes and offer cheap funds, which could help SMEs to undo financial constraints and expansion. Lastly, it is essential to address the issue of training and development properly. So the recommendation includes the emphasis on engaging stakeholders such as local business and entrepreneurs, community leaders, and governments to ensure clusters develop meets regional demand. Lastly, there is a need for monitoring and evaluation framework put in place to assess as well as gauge performance of these clusters through periodic evaluation of the SME clusters and improvement of the process based on the findings, Nigerians can maintain the sustainability and expansion of the marketing clusters related to the SMEs to support sustainable economic development. Thank you very much.